Jesting here. All right. Well, last week, President Biden made an important announcement regarding federal student loan forgiveness. Given the headlines this news is making, eligible borrowers need to be on the lookout for new loan forgiveness scams. We are joined now live by Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League with some tips to help protect borrowers from falling victim. Jen, it's so unfortunate that we have to have these conversations, but it's a very real threat out there. Tell me about these scams.
Yeah, it's like you get some good news out there and scammers capitalize on that. I mean, everybody's talking about the president's announcement. Scammers are smart, sophisticated, they follow what's going on, and they are going to try to, make the most of this announcement and see if they can wage on people's vulnerabilities. And the Federal Trade Commission issued a warning last week to federal student loan borrowers and provided some tips to help alert borrowers of some potential fraud scams that are out there. So if you are one of those borrowers that's eager to get some of your federal student loan debt forgiven, be very cautious if you get an unsolicited call or a text from someone with an opportunity to jump the line, to get your loans forgiveness happening quicker, or if they say that they can guarantee your forgiveness. That is just a big scam. There's no quick fix here. If someone calls you unsolicited and asks for information or says there's going to be a processing fee to get your loan forgiveness processed, that's a scam. That's a big red flag. So there's no quick fixes, there's no processing fees, and nobody should be contacting you and asking you for your federal student aid credentials, your ID, your password. The U.S. Department of Education is not going to be contacting you for that. So it's all a way for scammers to either get you to give them personal information or get them to give you a credit card because you just want your debt erased, and you'll do anything to make that happen faster. But it's very scary that these opportunities are happening, and that's why it's so important to let viewers know that there's fraud out there. It's going to continue in the next couple of weeks, and we need to be on guard. You need to be on the lookout. You don't want to fall victim.
No, absolutely not. And I think, one of the things that we frequently talk about is taking matters into your own hands, meaning, if somebody calls you, hang up and you call back to see if it's actually, the person who they claim to be. So are there tips like that you might recommend? I mean, I know that you said maybe signing up for updates from the Department of Education.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get some updates on when the program opens up. Sign up at the U.S. Department of Education so that you kind of know what the process is. Also, make sure you know who your federal student loan servicer is, so you know that name, and make sure they know how to contact you. Make sure that they have your updated mailing information. It's important to make sure that they know where you are and you know where they are. And I would also encourage folks that if anyone contacts you, whether it's about student loan fraud or something else, and they want you to take quick action, go with your gut. Scammers want you to act fast, right? Because the more you think about things, the less likely you are to become a victim. So always take pause. Don't be afraid to call someone back, check a website, do your homework. If something seems too good to be true at that very split second, then chances are it is. And I know there are a lot of people out there with student loan debt. They're anxious for this relief, but take a pause, take the time, because you don't want to have your information out there into the hands of a bad actor who can use it for purposes that could put you in even more debt. So it's very scary, it's very heartbreaking, but we really need to do our homework.
Yeah, it seems like with every new announcement, the scammers try and take advantage and figure out a way to kind of weasel in there and get your personal information.
They do. I love coming on here and talking to you, Megan, but I feel like I'm a broken record. There's always something new, and people are being taken advantage of. And so I will be really glad when I don't have to come up and provide these warnings anymore. But it's so important to let folks know.
Yes, it is very important, especially if the Federal Trade Commission is saying this is happening. We know it's a reality for so many people.
Exactly. And if you think you've been impacted, by all means, go to reportfraud.ftc.gov, report it. contact your financial institutions, check your credit reports. You know, you can do things proactively to alert folks, and it's good practice anyway, just to make sure, you know, your information isn't in the hands of someone whose hands it shouldn't be in.
Yes, exactly. Jen Burke, thank you so much. As always, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Megan.